everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be sharing with you these Chameleon color tone art markers. Now I've said before in videos that I typically do not upload in the order that I film, but in today's video I'm going to do my very best to get this out today. I'm going to try not to do too much editing. I'm just going to put it out as quickly as I can because these markers, the Chameleon color tone markers, are currently on clearance at Michael's. I'm going to try and tip this down so there's not too much glare because it's a very shiny package. So typically you're going to pay about $30 for a set of 5 of these markers, but at Michael's, they are $10 right now for the sets of 5, and the color tips set of 5 is only $5, so it's $1 a tip. So if you already know that you're interested in these, that you like them, maybe you want more of them, I encourage you strongly. I'm going to try and get this video up this morning as early as possible. Go over to your Michael's and check the local Michael's near you because they may have some stock of these left that you can pick up at the sale price. They're out of stock online. They just flew. Yesterday was the first day of the sale, I believe. Today is Sunday morning. I think Saturday was the first day of the sale that I could see. Friday is usually the first day of Michael's sales, but these were $14 Friday from what I saw. And then when I went Saturday morning, they were $10 and I was like, yep, I'm grabbing them up. So I had been interested in these. I wanted to give these a go, give these a try for quite some time. So today I want to do a quick haul, first impressions, and I'm actually going to be reviewing these markers today. Now, I've said in the past, I really don't believe in first impression reviews, but I'm not new to markers. I've tried a lot in my day, and I already know I have strong opinions about these. Spoiler alert, I'm returning them. For me and how I like to work and for how I like to use markers, they're not a good fit. I personally won't be keeping these, even for the discounted price, which is nearly 70% off, I believe. I mean, when you're paying a third of the price here, I'm still not happy with them. I'm going to return them. We're going to talk about why, but you know what? They might be right for some people, so I'm going to go ahead and do my best to give as much of an impartial kind of review as possible. I also have some Ohuhu brush markers here, which I hauled several weeks ago. I filmed that video, but I haven't uploaded it yet because, like I said, I don't upload in the order that I film always, but you'll see that video coming soon. I did a huge Ohuhu marker haul, and I really do like these. But the reason that I grabbed a couple at random in a clear blender is because I wanted to show you, and I'm going to zoom down in just a moment, I wanted to show you that the effects that you can achieve here with these markers, you can easily achieve also with any brush marker in a clear blender. So I'm going to zoom down on here, and of course, whenever we change the angle, for whatever reason, the exposure changes. I don't know why. I didn't do anything different to the camera, but suddenly now everything's super dark. Who knows why? So I'm going to just take, let's see. I'm going to just take any marker at random. Now, I like the floral set, I have to say. I apologize if anything's misspelled here or illegible, but I was very, very tired last night when I made this little chart out. So here are the sets that I got. I got the floral tones. I got the blue tones. I got the gray tones. And then these two sets, I think these are called naturals. I'm not sure. Maybe this is the Paris colors or a portrait set. Again, I'm not sure. These sets are packaged a little bit differently. I don't know why, and they don't have the names on them of what they're called, like what the sets are called. So I'm trying to recall off the tab what these two sets were called. So I got 5 sets of 5. That was what was left at my local store, and then I got a set of the color tops in the nature tones. And here I was able to swatch the nature tones for you so you could see what those colors look like, because one of the markers in my blue set was defective. It was supposed to be baby blue. You're supposed to get a baby blue color, but instead I just got a clear marker, and I'm going to show that to you. Okay, so here is that marker. It's supposed to be baby blue, but as you can see, I'm going to hold it up really close for you. Hopefully the camera will focus on it. It's completely clear. There's no color at all. Any color you might be seeing on the tip is just staining from me playing around with it. But the marker itself is 100% even. The bullet end, completely clear alcohol. So I think this was just, obviously this was a mistake or a defective marker or what have you, but I just got clear alcohol in this pen. So I put those color tops on this so that I could swatch the colors out for you so that you could see this. This is marker paper. This is Strathmore marker paper, which is not my favorite paper for markers, but it works okay. And here I was playing around with them. Some of my favorite paper for marker is actually the Canson XL Mixed Media. The paper really allows nice blending for alcohol pens and markers, so I like that quite a bit. I also played around with them a little bit on a scrap I have here of Strathmore's drawing paper, which I actually like for markers sometimes too. This is the blend I got with the orange and the fuchsia. Ignore the rest of it, that's not relevant at all. But this is the fuchsia and this is the orange blend. And you can see they do what they're supposed to do. I have to say that. I want to show you kind of how they work. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a gradient with these essentially, and you're going to gradiate typically to well, to clear or to white with these. So on one end you get a brush tip. This is a very small brush tip. I want to compare it quickly to the Ohuhu brush tip, which is more close to a Copic. You can see just how much smaller that really is. The brush tip is a fiber nib. It's not the best quality in the world. And I'm going to tell you right now that this nib is going to fray really quickly and really easily, especially when you use the marker as it's intended, which is you take this end that has like a clear marker inside. It's just like a clear blender. It's just plain alcohol. And then you put this top on and you squish it down. And you keep it this way and you allow the alcohol to travel down, and it's just going to create a gradient for you. So the longer you hold it there, the more of a blend that you're going to get, the more, you know, the more of a longer gradient that you'll get. That's probably long enough. And then I can just show you how that starts out clear. And you'll see we naturally start to get darker and darker until the marker returns to its original color. Like that. You can see it's a nice blend. Sometimes they are a little streaky, I'm not going to lie about it, but a lot of the time you'll get a pretty nice blend. My issue with this is the tips. Number one, my first issue with it is I feel like they're a little gimmicky, and I don't think these markers are doing anything that your regular pack of markers isn't doing. If you already have Copics, Prismacolor, even Ohuhu, you know, like the cheapest of the cheap. If you have a store brand marker, you know, like a Michaels marker, you can do this technique exactly the same with what you already have. I don't think this offers anything different, because I'm going to demonstrate that in just a moment, how you can get this exact same effect with whatever markers you already currently have. But my second issue is this tip, they know it's going to fray. They admit in the packaging, in the marketing material, that it's very fragile and that it's going to break in. It's going to have a natural break-in period where the nib's going to get squished down. What they mean to say is that you're going to break this brush tip. And that's going to happen because when you put this cap on, the tip is getting squished. It's getting jammed up against that clear blender. And I mean, it's folding over. I'm going to get a close-up of that so that you can really see the damage that it's inflicting to that tip. Hold on. Can you see how that tip is just mashed up against that? Okay. Oh, look at that. See that? It is mashed up against it. And in some instances, it'll like fold right over onto itself. And after a couple times of that happening, your nib is going to start to splay. Now, they say that's normal. It's just part of the breaking in process, and it's going to happen. And it is. It most certainly is. You know, but the issue is that it's going to happen really, really quickly. And I think that the reason that they give you replaceable nibs, which they do, every 5-pack is going to have 2 replaceable nibs included. But I mean, already it's happening so quick, like really, really quickly, that nib is just splaying and everything. And so that's why they give you on the other end, I think, a bullet nibs, because they know that that brush tip is not going to give you fine details for very long. So that's kind of one of my issues with it. Sometimes they're a little bit dry, they're a little bit streaky. I think I had that issue even on marker paper with a couple of them. Like the gray, it happened with a little bit. Here, I just took the tip-to-tip method with 2 of their own markers. So I used BL7 and BG3, and I just held, you know, tip-to-tip like that, and I got the exact same effect that you would get from the color tops. And you can do that with any marker. I mean, literally any marker. If you hold the tip of 2 markers together, it doesn't matter which one, you'll get a look like this. Here it was with the color tops. You know, I think I took that dark, was that chromium or evergreen, and I used one of the earth colors there. And it does what it says it's going to do. So I'm not mad at it, you understand. But my issue with it is that it is a little bit gimmicky. And if you already have a set of markers, if you're feeling like you're missing out on something because you don't have these, my opinion is you're really not. All right, I just wanted to adjust the exposure a little bit. So down here, I wanted to show you exactly how you can get this exact same effect using any alcohol markers that you already have. So I've got a clear blender. I'm just gonna pick any color at random. We'll do this marigold color. Maybe we'll do the light blue. Let's do that. So I've got my clear blender. I think it works better. You get more juice down into the tip if you hold it to the chisel end. So you want to do the same thing. You want to make sure you're holding it vertical like this. Here's my brush tip. And I want the clear solution to blend down in it. So I'm going to hold this here. I'm going to hold it for maybe, I don't know, let's do 20 seconds. We'll speed past this because you don't have to sit here for 20 seconds. Okay, so I held it there for about 20 seconds. I'm going to just speed that up so you don't have to sit there and be bored to death. So here it is. You can see now it's coming out a little bit clear, just like your Chameleon pen. And I might have overdid this a little bit. I might have held that clear blender there a little bit longer than what I needed to. But I'm just going to start until, and sometimes you could do that with the pens with the Chameleon as well. I'm just going to start until I begin to get a blend. I mean, there you go. You're going to get the exact same effect, the exact same kind of gradient-like effect. You can do that with, I did it here with the color called Mauve. Let's try the shade that I have closest to it, which would be that Blue Violet 2, which the color caps here are way off, by the way, on some of them. And I mean way off. Here's Blue Violet 2. Here's the cap. See how it almost looks blue, but it's a purple there. So that is way, way off. It's a little trivial thing, but I'm just putting it out there. So here is the Ohuhu. Here is the Chameleon. My brush nib. I'm going to do the same thing. Oops. Sometimes that'll happen. So I'm going to hold it there, and I'm going to do 20 seconds. You can see inside the chamber, you can't see it, but I can see it, that brush tip is really mashed up against that big bullet, that big clear bullet. Hold it there for 20 seconds or so like they recommend. Okay, so I held it on there, and then I'm going to compare it now to the Ohuhu one that I did the exact same way. I just held the clear blender there. And this is such a close color. It's really apples to apples, I think. Or very similar. Yeah. I mean, it does the thing that it says it's going to do. I can't say that it's not. But you can see I got the exact same effect with the markers I already have. The other issue I have with it is that the brush nib, I mean, I only did this a couple times and it's already like obliterated from being jammed up in there in that blending chamber. So that's one thing. Look how much longer they are also. It's going to be a little bit cumbersome. I want to compare the length. Okay, so they're a bit longer and you've got more caps to take off, obviously, as well. So that's another thing you want to kind of consider. Overall, for me and how I like to work, I have to be on. Now listen, I'm a little bit nervous to put this video out, so please be nice. I know that these are like one of those cult following kind of products. I know people really rave and love them. I've never seen a negative review, and I'm not bashing the company or being negative either, but I'm going to be honest, my first responsibility is to my subscribers. This is not a sponsored video. I've not been compensated or received free product. I don't do that. I bought this with my own money, and even at the clearance price, I feel like for me and how I like to work, it's not worth it. How often are you blending something honestly in your work? How often are you blending something just to pure clear? Because a lot of the time we're overlapping tones and creating beautiful blends. We're not blending really to clear. Here I did some little leaf examples with the greens that I had, and I mean, that is nice. It's nice occasionally for that rare instance that I might need it. A lot of the time, not blending things to clear, I would be blending in other tones. I mean, the gradation really does work. It does what it says it's going to do. And I have to tell you that, you know, it's not like they're being dishonest about the tip that's going to be mashed. Oh, good Lord. Where's here it is. It's not like they're being dishonest that your tip is going to get mashed like that, because it's right here in the material that you get. They're telling you basically that's going to happen. Although they're saying it's broken in. It's part of the natural breaking in process. No, it's part of the natural, you're breaking this tip process because you're mashing a very delicate fiber brush nib up against a hard bullet nib. You're breaking it. That's just the reality, and they know that's what's going to happen. That's why that you have the little bullet for details on the other side. If you like these and you already know you have them and you like them, grab them now if there's colors you wanted, because, you know, for a 5-pack on sale, on clearance for $10, I mean, these are close to $28, close to $30 on even Amazon. Look how bright that looks suddenly on camera. Yeah, I'm just saying you don't need them. If you already have a set of alcohol markers for how I like to work, most of the time, and that is a beautiful blend, but most of the time you're not going to be, you know, doing one flat gradient tone of just one tone. You would be blending multiple tones and building it up. I'm more of a realism artist, but still, you know, even I've seen like anime and cartoon artwork, they're not just doing one flat tone a lot of the time. So it's such a specific kind of technique. It's such a unique, like, specific technique to get that clear gradient. But again, you can do it. Now here I tried just laying down some clear blender and then putting the regular brush alcohol marker to work to see how much of a gradient I could get. You can see that doesn't work super well. Sometimes it does, but it doesn't work super well. But the tip-to-tip method, same marker, exactly the same. Maybe that's a little smoother even than my Chameleon one there. So here is the Chameleon orange. I picked marigold here, which is not exactly orange, but let's try that one, tip to tip with my oh-hoo-hoos. So I want the ink the clear to flow down. So I'm going to hold it there 15, 20 seconds, whatever. And you can see now that the tip is lighter. After I've done that, I didn't hold it there super long. Where is my cap? Here it is. It didn't affect my clear blender at all. And now we'll do a little gradient right next to it. This is the oh-hoo-hoo. It's not the exact same color, obviously. But there's your blend, there's your gradient. I mean, it worked exactly the same. I didn't hold it there very long, but I mean, it's the same effect. So if you already have a pack of alcohol markers and any clear blender, you can get this exact same effect. You don't specifically need these Chameleon pens. I think they're kind of gimmicky. If you like the color tops, here, using their own marker, I just used 2 of the blues that came in my pack. I just did the tip-to-tip method. I just held it there, and I got the exact same effect as the color top. So these are also kind of gimmicky. Yeah, I'm just going to be honest. That's my honest opinion. Number one, I don't think you need these because it's going to be so seldom that you're going to be blending something to clear anyway. a lot of the time. I don't know. My honest opinion is if you already know you like them and for how you like to work, maybe for coloring books or something like that, where you want just one flat gradiated tone or something, maybe, but you still don't need them. Maybe just get one clear marker, or just buy one marker just for that clear blending chamber, and then you could probably put, I'm gonna guess, let me try it. I'm gonna guess I could put any marker I wanted to hold it there. Yeah, you could, but just bear in mind, you know, you want to kind of hold it there gently, because you're gonna be damaging the tips of your markers if you just jam it in there. But yeah, I mean, there I just used their blending chamber with my own marker. Now, bear in mind too, I want to keep in mind that you are going to be holding it there for quite some time. If you want to get the blend, you want to get the gradient, you're going to be holding it in that chamber, sometimes 30 seconds at a time, every time you want to do a gradient. Here I did a little sphere, kind of, just, you know, like to see what I could get. I had to go over that twice to get it super smooth, but it works. I mean, it works. I can't say it doesn't work. It's not like it's a scam, because the product does work as intended. You are going to get the gradient, you know, the effect that you see on the box is what you're going to get. But do I need these pens to get that effect on the box? As you can see, no, absolutely not. I do not. I was able to get the exact same look over and over again, duplicated with just my regular Oohoo's, and I like these so much more. I can do so much more with them. They're more versatile. It's more of a workhorse thing. I can blend multiple shades together. The brush nib is so much better quality in these Oohoo's, and they're reversible and so much larger. That tiny little brush tip, I mean, it's so small, you're going to have to work in tiny little sections. I don't know. For me personally, I feel like they for how I like to work, I know I'm not going to use them, so I'm going to return them and let somebody else who may enjoy them a lot more have these, put them back on the shelf, because, you know, I was gentle with them. I didn't, as gentle as you can be with them, and I was respectful of them, knowing pretty quickly early on, I was like, ooh, I was excited about these. Like, I've wanted to try them for a long time. I was excited about them, but I don't know what I was expecting them to do differently. But for me personally, how often are you going to blend something into clear? A lot of the time I'm not going to be doing that, you know. I'm going to be building something up more realistically. Hold on one second. I just want to show you an example of some of my work. All right, so I just went and grabbed really quick my living room sketchbook. So that's what I use alcohol markers most for. So I can get comfortable in my living room and with my fun art bag. It doesn't have to be light fast. It doesn't have to be professional quality, because I'm not selling this. It's just for my own enjoyment. I don't have to have a bucket of water or brushes out. So I did this with just the Oohoo regular markers with the little bullet nibs, because I bought those first. I actually really love those. Just the Oohoo brush, bullet and chisel nib markers, and this is how I like to work. Most of the time I don't see a Chameleon pen being helpful to me. I did this around Easter, this little like bunny and a cupcake. I did this with their pastel tones. Again, I don't see where that little Chameleon like gradiated blend would be useful. Here I did just some little fun fruits with bees, little illustrative kind of little citrus page, and again, I don't see where an application that would be useful. So yeah, I mean, for how I like to work, you know, I just don't see how this would be. And in the rare occasion that I would need an effect like that, I can get that with markers I already have. So what is this offering, you know, that my regular markers don't offer? Really nothing in my opinion. And they're pricey, like, you know, for $30 for 5 markers, if that's the full price, you know, I'd steer you, if you're a beginner, especially if you're a beginner, I don't think these are easier if you're a beginner. I would pick up a pack of Oohoo's, you know, get the biggest pack you can afford, nothing more than 120. I think that's already too many. But, you know, especially like if you don't care about the brush too much. If you want those Ohuhu bullet nibs, I really like the 80 pack of bullet and chisel, or the 70 something, 72 pack of the brush. You might try those. I have the 168 set of brush, and I really do love them, but you don't need that many to get started. But just get the biggest pack that you can afford of the Ohuhus, and you know, learn how to group tones together. You know, you want a light, a medium, and a dark tone in the same color family, and you can just blend and get gradients that way. But you could even do this exact same effect. I mean, you know, they give you a clear blender. You can hold it there and get the same effect. So yeah, so to boil it all down, I would say for me personally and how I like to work, I'm not saying there's nobody that would like them. But I'm just saying for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of these. I would say I would skip and pass on them, to be completely honest. But if you know you like them or you're interested in them, go to your local Michael's and see what you can pick up, because on clearance, now's the time to buy if you really do want these. I did want to reiterate very quickly that they do, in every 5 pack of markers that you buy, they give you 2 replaceable brush nibs in the pack. So that is really great. And they say that you can buy more and that they're affordable. But I didn't price them, so I don't know what they cost. But I think it was generous of them to include them, but I think that's also because they know that when you use this product as it's intended to be used, you're going to break it. Like, it's going to wear down quickly, and it's not going to last. So yeah, I mean, that's all right. So I wanted to demonstrate quickly the color tops for you guys, because some of you might be interested, especially if you already know you have them and you love them for how you like to work. I do want to show them to you. So they come in this hard acrylic kind of case. I like that their quality and that they're protected. I'm going to grab Dark Sage, that's green 2 here, and I've got Fuchsia. Let's choose some really opposite colors so you can really see the effect. So it comes with like a little insert type cap. You just pull it off and you hold it on just like this. Is just like a blending chamber. It's the same thing. So I'm gonna put it on and let the ink transfer. We'll give it, let's say 5 seconds this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I don't want to hold it too long because the ink does transfer pretty quickly. And then let's see. We'll do it on the marker paper so that you can see. So it's going to start off now with the green and then slowly transition now back to that bright, vibrant fuchsia. And that is a cool effect. Like, I'm not going to lie. That is a really cool effect. And now it's back to the original fuchsia color. So take a look at that. That's neat. That is a really cool effect. It does exactly what it says it's going to do. So, you know, it's not a scam. It works like it says. But how often, realistically, do you need your marker to do that? And in those rare instances that you do, you can hold 2 markers together and get the same effect. So I'm going to show you, I've got this blue here and I've got this purple here from Ohuhu. And I'm just going to hold that there, tip to tip. We'll do 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think it works. I think it works a lot better if when you're doing it with your own markers at home, if you use the chisel end to hold to the brush, because I think more ink will likely transfer that way. But here you can see now it's going to start off purple, and this is a blue marker, and slowly transition now to blue. And it takes a little time. Ooh, it looks like cotton candy, so pretty. But yeah, hopefully you can see on camera it started off like that light purple and transitioned into that light blue. So it works exactly the same. So in those instances that you need your marker to do that, those rare instances for me, my regular markers do the exact same thing. So that's the reason I'm returning them. It's not that the markers don't do exactly what they say they're going to do, because they do. My issue is that there's nothing here that's unique for me that I couldn't do much more affordably with a regular set of markers. And my regular markers do so much more than these do. without the damage to the tip, without the really tiny little, I mean, it's such a small little tip. This one, again, was supposed to be blue, but it came clear. I don't know. Now, I am certain I've seen what good customer service Chameleon has. I'll bet if I reached out to them, probably within 10 hours or so, I'd have a response from them, and they would replace this marker. So that's good. I think they stand by their product. I think they're a good company. I've got nothing against them, absolutely nothing. But I'm just going to be honest. For me, for how I like to work, I would not purchase these again. I'm actually going to return them. But if you like them and you know you like them, or you know you want to try them, now is the time when Michaels has these 5-packs for $10. And honestly, I think that's really all they're worth. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be really honest. I don't think they're worth more than that, because the tips are going to fray and break. I mean, I used them just very lightly. I've only had them for a couple hours. You know, I picked them up last night. I'm returning them this morning. And I mean, it just did a couple blends, and I could already see that the marker was wearing down, that it was beginning to fray. It's not, those tips are not going to last. They know it. That's why they gave you extra nibs, which was great. But you're going to keep replacing them, and that's also probably why they gave you that bullet. That's hard to get to sometimes, because that is going to be hard and dependable, and you'll always be able to get that fine line with it that you won't be able to get for very long with the brush. Also, the brush is so tiny, you're going to have to work small. I mean, there's just no question about it. You're gonna have to work quite small. But again, if you like them, I'm not trying to dissuade you. If you like them, please enjoy them. But for me personally, I'm gonna skip. Again, look, you can get the same exact same effect with your markers that you already have in those rare instances when you want them. But most of the time you're going to be doing more complex blends than that, probably, like what I've done here. I don't see myself needing or using them very often. So I don't know. I rambled probably on for much longer than I needed to, but that's my review for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Again, while they're on clearance, go to your local store. They're already out of stock online, but if your Michaels has stock, now's the time to buy them. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. And as always, have a great day, have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!